All right, we are live. Although you might be watching this not live. Is it going or is it not going? Let's check it out. Okay, seems to be going. Let me just share. And here we go. All right. So, Zora is not joining me today. She's at the zoo. My parents asked if she wanted to go to the zoo with her cousins. They picked her up, and she should be there. So, unfortunately, she's not joining us today for our final Thursday lesson. I've got summer camp starting next week. My Monday lessons are going to move to 3 p.m. So we will definitely still do the Mondays at 3 p.m., especially for my Casa de Mañana folks. We're going to still continue doing those, just moving till 3 p.m. And the Thursdays are going to get, unfortunately, canceled because I'm not going to have time with the summer camp stuff happening. It's just going to be a little bit too much. So since I'll have less free time, Thursdays will not happen. Mondays are a go at 3 o'clock. So today we're working on this really cool flower image. So let me just bring that up for myself. And hopefully you are bringing it up on your computer as well, so that you have that image, and then in another window you can have me doing my example here. So without further ado, let's flip things around. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. I'm just going to be using regular pencil. So I got my pencil, I've got my eraser, we're ready to go. Now, for something like this where I'm basically doing one main object, rather than making the whole shape, instead, I'm just going to kind of start in the middle, like where all the petals are coming together. And I'm going to start in there, and I'm going to work my way out to the edges. By doing it this way, we can keep our proportions a little more correct. We won't run out of room, and we'll make it, since we'll be starting in the middle, everything that comes out from there will be based on what we see in the middle. So you're not having to suddenly, if we make this shape and then we start over here and then everything here is a little bit too big, we don't have to erase all the other stuff that we already drew. We just build out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm starting in the kind of right in the middle of the flower. There's kind of a greenish petal that is like a little wave, or like I'm going to start with a smile. How about that? So it's going to be a little smile right in here, kind of like this. It's kind of a crooked smile. And then it kind of comes to a point, and then it comes down, and it goes in, kind of like that. This is a little flatter in here, isn't it? And you want to kind of draw these things very lightly. We can always make them darker. I'm going to stay dark just so you can see, because, obviously it's got to be visible. This is going to kind of come like this. Now we've got another frowny mouth here. And again, it's kind of a specialized shape. And then it kind of curves down. And then we on this side we have a smile. Well, kind of. It sort of spills off this way, doesn't it? This is pretty much going straight up and down. And then it kind of comes in here, and I'm not sure. It seems like it's gonna get overlapped, or maybe this is overlapping this other one that goes underneath it. So it kind of goes like this. More of like a smile. Sorry. More of like a little smile. And then you can see the point out here, and then it kind of comes diagonal like that. On this side, you've got a petal that kind of comes out like this. So it's kind of like a little parenthesis. And then it flips. So it's going to be frowny mouth. And then like another frowny mouth, or you can think of this as like a bird. And then it's going to come down like that. And then slant over here like that. And then here's the other side of that petal. So you can see it's just like a combination of sort of parentheses shapes, or J shapes even, you can think of them as, like the letter J. So now I can see there's this other petal that kind of comes right in here. Let's get rid of that junk. Okay, this side comes up like that. This comes a little more like that. And then this comes up to here. So that's looking pretty good there. It is a busy, busy flower right in the middle. Okay, I can see right here, there's going to be another petal, and it kind of just has this little end piece that goes like this. And then you've got this sort of slanty guy that comes there, and then you have right in front of this guy comes another one that also has a little flipped up front like this. So it's like this triangle shape here, and then it goes like that. This kind of comes up there, so this needs to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I see triangles all over this thing. Okay, let's do the next one. Comes in here. And it actually overlaps this guy. And then sort of has a little scoop in it. Something like that. And then it's round. Doesn't go up quite that high. Right? And then this guy comes in here. you've got this big, this is like a J, right? Okay, this is always like a little warm-up period, I find. But once I get cooking, then it flows a little bit easier. I hope everything is going well for you in your life, wherever you are. Things are pretty wild out there. Let's see. So, there's that. Here's this guy. And then right here, you've got at the start of a new petal. And it's got a real flat point. And then it's got like a frowny mouth on this side. And then you've got another little swoop down like that on that side. Over here, it kind of just comes up like that, and then there's a little thing that goes like that. And then you're going to meet your other petals here. So let's see how this goes. This should come down to here. On this side, you've got sort of a big smile. And then this comes down, kind of like that. And then it's a little bit thin there. Let's move that. That goes like that. You can see where there's a little bit of the other side of this petal. It kind of folds in half, and then you've got this other side that comes here, and this is where you've got another little petal that comes out. This one looks kind of rectangular, like this, and then the end of it is like a little slanty triangle, kind of goes like that. It needs to be a little longer though. It's got to come out a little further. Because it's out further than this one. I can see there's a little slanty guy that goes behind here. I'm going to bring this down just a tad. And then I see this was the one that came behind. And then it's going to kind of come down to here like this. I think I'm getting a little bigger. My proportions are getting a little jacked up, but let's just see where it goes. You know, we're trying to make it look right. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger over here. Just trying to get the shapes a little more correct. Let's see. Hey, Jules, glad you're here. I agree about the June gloom. It does make it hard to get up. Okay, so here is this guy, which I can see is going to come down like this. And then, let's see, right about here, we've got this other petal that comes in. Something like that, maybe. And then it looks like it just folds over just a little bit. So I think that's not terrible. I can see there's this other petal. This has to go a little further here. This other petal that comes out here, and it's going to be kind of a big frowny mouth. And then it, or you can even think of it as like a gentle S curve. It seems like it's got to be a little higher than that. Or it's got to come out more like this. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right. Now, on the you got this inside fold over that kind of goes like this. Right? And then you can see there's this other edge. Maybe what I'll do is, this is right up against it here, so this can be a little lower here. I've got a lot of extra lines, you know, you really want to try to get this in as few lines as possible. So I'm going to try to be a little better about that moving forward. You know, you keep remembering these little things that help to improve your drawing. Okay, so I can see that there's this other little frowny mouth. Kind of goes to about there. This guy is going to go right up against it, so this comes in here. And then it goes like this. There's like this edge of the petal here. It's just the angle is off. Let's try that again. That's a little better. This is like a white area here. And then I can see that there's like this other little triangle that comes in here. And it just kind of meets up with this other little petal that's in there. It's a lot of little lines, so I'm sorry if that's getting a little confusing for you. However, what I'm seeing now is that there's this other petal that kind of comes under here. I'm doing the fold, which is like a smile. And then this comes in front. And then we've got sort of the back edge of our flower. And you can see it kind of flattens out here, and then you've got that little point, that little triangle that comes over, folds over like that. So this is going to be more like this, and then it's going to come right up to here, like that. get rid of the extra lines. All right, so here's this. This guy basically meets it. Right? Okay. Here's this guy, and then we're gonna have this kind of, we got like a little smile here, and then we've got this triangle flip of the edge, and then this part kind of comes out straight and then goes like that. That's that. There's going to be a little thing over here. Let's yeah. Okay, so here's this. There's like this other guy that comes up like this. Oh, I see. It's the edge of this. So this edge goes like that. And then this is the back side of it right here. It kind of comes out like that. Over here, we're going to have frowny mouth. And then you're going to have like you. And then this is going to be sort of the that end part. It sort of looks like a little head of a bird to me. And then this comes out from behind here, and then it bubbles out in a little smile. And then it comes back in like that. Back here, we've got this like sideways V, but it doesn't come to a point, does it? And then we've got the inner edge. It comes down like this. It's like a big M, kind of. Whew. There we go. We've got pretty much a good portion of our inner flower done. Okay, great. Let's continue. Okay. I can see that there's an edge right here. That's kind of going to be a big smile. Doesn't come down that low though. Let's try again. That's a better angle there. And then on the other side, so it comes to a point, and then it starts to, it's like a smile, or you could, again, it's kind of like a big lazy S. Kind of like that. Get rid of excess lines. Right, and then this over here comes down like that. It's a little more like that. This should be a little lower here. I make mistakes, guys, you know? That's the thing. It's like some artists they're just so natural at it. I've always had to work at it, and I'm certainly better than I used to be, but man, it's not easy. I will be the first to admit that. It takes work. Okay, I want to get this guy in here because this really sort of finishes out this main part of the middle bud. It kind of comes to a point here, and then I see it kind of goes in like so. In fact, it looks like there's a little triangle here, and then this part goes it's almost kind of almost vertical, and then it's going to come like that. Then on this side, it's like a giant parenthesis with a little ripple in there. Like that. Should be bigger than this one. Okay. All right. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's really, when I post these after they're done and I can see the drawing up next to the photo and compare them like right next to each other, that's when I know how well I did or not. Okay, so now we're going to do the end over here. Here, we'll start here because I can already see this bottom is going to be right here. And then I can see that it kind of comes down and then comes across like this. There's that other, that's showing the edge of where sort of the fold happens in the petal. So it's going to come up. And then this is going to come from over here and just connect like that. Then we're going to have this sort of slanty parenthesis to finish that off down there. All right. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish here. That's not really right. I don't know why I did that. I think I'm just trying to make a bigger shape here because it seems like a little small compared to this one. This one is just something that happened with my proportions. Yeah, you can tell. Okay, let's get this guy in. It's going to go out. Rounded end. And then it's going to come like this. Boom. In here you've got this fold. And then it kind of comes down to a point there. And then just a little fold on this side. Then we've we've got one more little triangle over here. Nice. Okay. Now we can start in on some of those just outside petals there. We'll do this one since he's kind of in the front. It's going to be sort of like a real lazy S curve. And then the opposite on this side. Kind of like that. A little bit of a fold in here. And then same thing on this side. Gets a little wider at the bottom. Now we've got one more. It's going to be right in here, and it's just going to be like a swooping Mona Lisa smile. Too high. Let's bring it to about here. And then reverse on the other side. These are all good. Let's do this next one. Yes, every piece is a new challenge. Yeah, Jules was mentioning that she's surprised at how much I can get done in an hour versus like when she works on a piece, it can take her 2.5 hours. And I will just say that you get so much faster the more you practice. You know, I mean, especially in painting, I'm so much faster in painting than I used to be. Okay, so I want to do, there's this petal that folds over, and that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to start with the back side of the petal, but that inside edge, it's going to be about, maybe like right around here, and it's just going to be a lazy parenthesis. It's going to come down not quite that far. Okay, and now I'm going to do the outside edge, which is almost, again, like a real lazy S-curve. And that's going to come all the way down to here. We're also going to have, we're just going to create that contour where it folds. So that kind of comes like that. And then there's like another little area like this. And then that just kind of comes in like that. This comes all the ways down like that. Then we've got the outside edge. So that is a little bit, my proportions are a little bit weird here. This should be a little further in. More like that, I guess. Because we just have this little guy that it shows the outside, that other outside edge there. Let me clean this up. Okay. Now you can see there's some stuff in here, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. Looks like some sort of little pods of some kind. I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. Okay. I'm going to do one more petal here. Then I'm going to get the stem and sort of the parts around the stem. So I can see there's right about here. There's a petal. that goes like that. We have the stem coming out here. And I'm going to just kind of lay it in like that. Here's the other side of the stem. It's a thick one. Okay. I can see right here, we're going to have another parenthesis that comes down like this. And then there's the part that folds over like that. And then there's this stuff in here. We'll get to that in a minute. Our stem has kind of a split on this side. We're going to have another parenthesis that starts out here and goes to this stem. It's going to go lower than this one. Kind of like that. Same idea where it's got this thin part that gets a little bit thicker as it comes to our stem. And then we've got these things in here which we will get to. Then we're going to have a little curve over here. And then it continues on this side like this. And then we've got this S curve. Again, it's a very lazy S curve, which is actually going to go right to here. It meets up with that one, huh? Yeah, it does. Meets up right there. And then this part, whoop. Right, this is kind of, you don't really see that anymore. And this just comes in like this. And then you can see there's some more stuff that's going to happen over here, but we don't get to see the rest of that. So that's looking pretty good to me. Let's have this come out a little further. And I can see there are these kind of oval-y shapes in here. They come right to the edge. And then there's another one. And then I see one in the front, like this. And another small one here. And then I see one in the back that goes like this. Okay. All right. Here's this one down here. Again, I see kind of a oval shape in there, and then another one right next to it there, and then another one here. And I see another. I'm making it up a little bit, guys, but it's kind of what I see in there. My proportions are a little bit weird, but that's pretty much it. Now here, we've got sort of this little triangular piece in here, and then we get our seeds or whatever they are. One, and then here's another one here. And then this guy is a little flatter, and he fits in there. And then I see maybe one here, and one here, and maybe one more up here. And then there's sort of like some dark that comes up around those through there. Over on this side, same thing. I've got sort of a little triangle there, and then I start to see these seeds. And then I see another one. And another one slanted off this way, and then just one more. And again, dark pretty much around them here. that's pretty good. Then we can go back in. We can start to shade things. Yeah, that's not half bad. Like I said, I think my proportions might be just a little off in some places, but let's see what we can do with our shading. So I'm just going to come in here towards the middle again, because I can see that there is, let's see, what's going on here? This comes up like this. There is this other kind of little guy in here that fits in like that. But then as we get in here, it starts to get dark. Same thing right in here. I can see there's a real dark area. Oh man, it's easy to get lost, isn't it? Here's this guy. Quite dark in there. Quite dark around here. You know, generally where there's an edge, you're probably going to get some dark. Either on the edge or around that edge. Definitely some dark in here. It's tricky because it's not in color, but you can see, like, you know, the edges are also, you know, the very edge is light, but there are these sort of colors, you know, these reds. Just try not to lose your edges. Definitely some shadow in here. Making sure to keep the edge very light. trust your eyes. Do what you see. Remember that, you can always darken areas. It's kind of hard to lighten an area. So, stay light to begin, and then you can always get a little darker. Well, you're doing pretty well here, 15 minutes left, and we've pretty much got our image down. It's just a matter of, shading it. You want to get your striations looking right. Also, guys, as we move along here, you can see there's some very particular shades and dark areas that will, just make all the difference. To try to get them as correct as you can, it will make a difference. And you can see I really don't use the side of my pencil. I use the tip. And you can see I'm real careful to leave a little light edge on many of my petals, just because that's what it is. The great thing about being able to go in and shade is then you can cover up mistakes, cover up all those eraser marks. Just cruising along. I was thinking about, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, I guess I feel some responsibility to say something, or, I mean, honestly, as a white guy, I feel like I should just probably shut up and just listen. which that's what I've been doing, and I, definitely see there are big problems, but I can't. I will be active in the way that I can be active, um, and I don't feel the need to make that a big public statement. In general, I try to stay nice and positive about everything in my life. There's a book called As a Man Thinketh by a guy named James Allen, who's a philosopher in maybe it was like the 1800s, maybe the 1700s. I'm not sure, but it's a pretty cool book. I mean, the whole idea of it is that every seed grows, and so you have to, if you think of your mind as a garden, you want to pull the weeds of negative thought out of your garden, because the seeds will grow. So you want to not have those seeds grow. You want to nip them in the bud before they can become big thoughts that overtake, all the other positive thoughts that you're having. So that is kind of what I try to live by. I try to stay positive and weed out the negative thoughts. And as a result, positive things tend to happen for me. Sure, I'm not lucky in everything, but I have a great family and wonderful friends, and in general, I'm a pretty happy guy. My heart breaks for all the injustices that I see, and I'm just gonna do what I can to add my voice in the way that I know how to add my voice, and to do it in a positive, creative way, rather than in a destructive, negative way, which I totally understand that reaction. But man, it's getting ugly out there in some ways, and I don't know what to do about that, other than to just stay positive, make things with meaning that can uplift other people, and try to spread some love around. So this is looking pretty good. In here we definitely have a little more like dark happening. I'm not exactly sure I got everything in that I needed to get in this little area here, but I'm just gonna go for it. At this point, I feel like it's pretty good, pretty close anyway. We'll just go for another few minutes here. See if I can keep making this thing better. See, in this one, you can see the edge is dark. Because the light is coming through. The middle of that petal there. This guy I didn't complete. He's got a little bit folded over there, that's dark, and a little bit folded over there, that's dark. Same thing, that very top edge is light, but then as it folds over, it gets dark. And then here, this is a little darker. That folds over. And then you've got sort of a dark area in here. All right. Whew. Man. So let's see here. This should be way darker in here. Let's see, in here I'm seeing this has a little dark crease in there. And then this guy's all colored in. And this has like a dark spot in it. Okay. All right. Let's see. That has some serious light coming through here. These guys. Let's see. This guy had got a color in that fold. Light edges. And this is dark in here. Okay, a little darker on towards the edge here, but a light edge. There's that sort of darker pink. And same thing, a little darker in there. Okay. Again, something kind of weird happened in here. My proportions are a little off. But all in all, not too shabby. Okay, so I'm gonna say that is that. Not too bad. Let me turn this thing around. I'll say a proper goodbye to everybody. All right. Thank you so much for checking out my lesson today. This is the last Thursday lesson we'll be doing, but I'll be meeting 3 o'clock p.m. on Monday. So it's not going to be in the morning anymore. It's going to be in the afternoon. We're just going to be doing the Monday at 3. So I hope you can join me. I'm going to continue doing that for the foreseeable future. And just want to spread a little love in your direction. I hope you're having a great day, and have a great weekend. Hope to see you Monday. Love you guys. Bye.